Philippine Agricultural Engineering Standard, PAES 401, Series of 2001. Agricultural Structures, Housing for Swine Production. Forward. The formulation of this national standard was initiated by the AMTEC under the project entitled Enhancing the Implementation of the AFMA through Improved Agricultural Engineering Standards, which was funded by the Bureau of Agricultural Research of the Department of Agriculture. The word shall is used to indicate requirements strictly to be followed in order to conform to the standard and from which no deviation is permitted. The word should is used to indicate that among several possibilities, one is recommended as particularly suitable, without mentioning or excluding others, or that a certain course of action is preferred but not necessarily required. Scope. This standard specifies the minimum requirements for swine housing. It includes space requirement, feeding and watering facilities. Definition. For the purpose of this standard, the following definitions shall apply. Boar refers to a male breeding swine which is at least 8 months old. Creep area, place for piglets inside the farrowing pen. Culling rate, rate of removing undesirable or unproductive animals within the herd. Dry sows, unbred sows which have just been weaned, non-pregnant sows. Farrowing, act of giving birth in swine. Farrowing pen, area in which a sow is confined during farrowing and lactation periods, but in which the sow can turn around. Farrowing stall or farrowing crate, device in which a sow is confined during farrowing and lactation periods and which prevents sow from turning around. Fattener, swine raised for meat production usually starts at 15 kilograms. Finisher, swine which are 66 kilograms and up. Gilt, female swine that has not farrowed. Grower, swine from 40 to 65 kilograms. Litter, piglets born in one farrowing. Litter index or farrowing index, average number of farrowings of one sow per year. Occupancy, number of days an animal stays in a pen. Sow, any breeding female pig that has farrowed. Weaner or weanling, piglet that has been recently separated from its mother. Location, the location shall conform to the land use plan of the area. The site shall be accessible to service roads, water supply and electric lines. The site shall be well drained and allows for free air circulation. The building shall be constructed in an east-west orientation, and the structure for marketable animals shall be located near the service road. The site shall be located where the prevailing winds will not carry odors to the farmhouse. Swine housing system. 1-unit system. In this system, the sows are removed when the piglets reach weaning age. The pigs remain in the same building from farrowing until they reach the desired weight for slaughtering. 2-unit system. The sows and piglets remain in the farrowing house until the piglets are weaned. The weanlings are transferred to a growing finishing house. 3-unit system. The sows and piglets remain in the farrowing house until weaning. The weanlings are moved to a nursery house and finally to a growing finishing unit where they stay until they are ready for slaughter. 4-unit system. The sows and piglets remain in the farrowing house until weaning. After weaning, piglets are moved to a nursery house, then to a growing house and finally to a finishing house until they are ready for slaughter. Space requirements. Minimum space requirement for swine is shown in Table 1. Swine up to 10 kilograms requires 0.11 square meter per animal. Swine from 11 to 20 kg requires 0.20 square meter per animal. Swine from 21 to 40 kg requires 0.35 square meter per animal. Swine from 41 to 60 kg requires 0.50 square meter per animal. Swine from 61 to 80 kg requires 0.70 square meter per animal. Swine from 81 to 100 kg requires 0.85 square meter per animal. Gilts up to mating requires 1 square meter per animal. Adult pigs in groups requires 2.50 square meter. Gestating sows requires 1.20 square meter per animal. Boar pens requires 7.50 square meter per animal. Lactating sows and litters for individual pens requires 7.40 square meter. And for multi-suckling groups it requires 5.60 square meter, and for the dry sows it requires 1.80 square meter. Structural requirements. Roof. Roofing material should be made of corrugated GI sheets and other durable roofing materials. At least 1 meter roof overhang shall be provided to ensure shade and to protect the swine from rain. Roof should be equipped with gutters, so that rainwater can be drained away separately. The types of roof for swine housing are semi-monitor, semi-shed, monitor, double span and shed as shown in the figure. Ceiling, it is optional. Ceiling height shall be at least 2.4 meters high. Walls. Building sidewalls shall have a minimum height of 1 meter and shall be made of durable materials. Floors. Solid floors. Concrete floors shall be paved on a well-compacted gravel fills. Floor shall be skid resistant with 2%-4% slope towards a gutter or drainage canal. The direction of the slope shall be away from the feeding trough. Slotted floors. Slotted floors should be made of concrete, plastic, metals or combination of such materials. It shall be constructed to allow manure and urine to pass through. Note: wood is not recommended as flooring material because it is less durable, difficult to dry, hence may harbor pathogenic organisms, and wood splinters may cause injury to swine. Slotted floors shall be constructed to allow manure and urine to pass through. The recommended slat width and spacing between slats is given in Table 2. In partially slotted floors, the slats shall be placed perpendicular to the long dimension of pens. For totally slotted floors, slats should be placed parallel to the sow. Concrete slats shall be used preferably for swine over 30 kilograms, including gestating sows. The top finish shall be smooth wood float finish and slat top edges shall be rounded. Refer to Table 3 and Figure 7 for the recommended specification and design of concrete slat. For swine under 20 kilograms, flattened expanded metal, 20 mm, 9 to 11 gauge, shall be used. Supporting joists shall be spaced at 300 mm. Expanded metal shall be treated to prevent corrosion. Sharp edges shall be avoided. Welded wire flooring shall be made of 5.3 mm, 5-gauge wire spaced at 12.5 mm, 15 mm or 18 mm. It shall be supported every 300 mm. Plastic flooring shall be coated with rough surface. Fiberglass reinforced T-slats should be used for creep areas in farrowing pens or crates in nursery. Slats shall be 38 mm wide and slots shall be 9 mm. It shall be supported every 600 mm. Functional requirements. Pens. Farrowing pens. Farrowing pens shall be provided with farrowing crates to avoid crushing by the sow. In case rearing pen is used, guardrail should be provided on both sides of the pen. It should be fixed 250 mm from the pen wall and 250 mm above the floor. The recommended dimension of a farrowing crate is shown in Table 4. Minimum farrowing crate dimension. The measurement of the length is 1.80 meters. The measurement of the width of stall is 0.60 meter. The width of creep is 0.50 meter. The height of stall is 1 meter. The height of creep is 0.40 meter. Pens for weaners or nursery. Weaners should be either penned in a ground pen or in an elevated nursery cages. These cages shall be provided with slatted floor with slot space clearance of 10 mm to 14 mm. It is recommended that the weaners with the same size shall be housed in a pen or cage. Growing pen. Separate pens for growers should be provided. The size of each pen shall be designed to hold not more than 25 growers. Example: growing pen with a dimension of 1.5 meters by 4.8 meters shall accommodate 20 growers. Finishing pen. Separate pens for finishers should be provided. The size of each pen shall be designed to hold not more than 25 finishers. Example: finishing pen with a dimension of 1.5 meters by 4.8 meters shall accommodate 10 finishers. Gestating pen. Sows should be either housed individually, box or stall, or by group. For individual pen, the dimension should be 0.66 meters by 1.8 meters. Boar pens. Pen for boars should be located close to the dry sow accommodation. The pen should be provided with a service crate. Pen partition. Pen partitions should be either solid or slotted. The slot shall be within the range of 160 mm to 210 mm. The minimum height of pen partitions is shown in Table 5. For swine under 25 kg, the height of pen partition is 0.70 meter. For swine from 25 kg to 100 kg, the height of pen partition is 0.90 meter. For sow, the height of pen partition is 1 meter. For boar, the height of pen partition is 1.20 meters. Fittings and internal surfaces to which the animals have access shall not have sharp edges or projections. Surfaces shall not be treated with paints that may cause illness or death. Pen gate. Pen gate should be made of at least 10 mm iron bars or at least 30 mm pipe, fastened securely to a GI pipe frame. The dimension of the gate shall be 600 mm wide, and 0.9 meters to 1 meter high. For weanling, a height of 750 mm shall be used. Aisles and walkways. Primary and secondary walkways shall have a minimum width of 1.5 meters and 1 meter, respectively. Equipment and facilities. Heaters. Heaters shall be installed in creep areas to provide newborn pigs its required temperature of 27 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius, until they are 3 days old. Heat lamps shall be placed 762 mm above the floor, or 152 mm above the sow. Feeding facilities. A properly designed feeding trough shall be provided. Table 5 shows the minimum recommended length of feeding trough per swine. For swine with the weight of 15 kg to 25 kg, the recommended minimum length of feeding trough is 150 mm per animal. For 25 kg to 50 kg is 200 mm per animal. For 50 kg to 75 kg is 250 mm. For 75 kg to 100 kg is 300 mm. For 100 kg to 130 kg is 350 mm. The feeding trough width shall be at least 300 mm and the depth shall be 250 mm. Watering facilities. Water trough, or waterers, shall not be placed beside the feeding trough, to keep feeding area of the swine dry and clean. The linear space requirement for watering is the same for the space requirement for feeding. Optional watering facilities. For automatic watering cups or bowls, 1 cup per 20 weaner, 1 cup per 12 gilts, and 1 cup per 10 sows, shall be provided. The bottom rim of the bowl should be 120 mm and 300 mm above the floor level for weaners and finishers, respectively. If nozzle-type waterers are used, it shall be adjustable and it shall be installed at a height of 450 mm to 650 mm from the floor for sows and growing finishing pigs, and 305 mm for weanlings. Waterer spacing should be 300 mm apart for nursery pigs, 450 mm for growing pigs, and 600 mm to 900 mm apart for finishing pigs and group-housed gestating sows. For nursery, 1 nipple per 10 pigs and 1 nipple per 12 to 15 growing finishing pigs should be installed. All plumbing design and installation shall conform to the National Plumbing Code of the Philippines. Lighting. Artificial lighting shall always be available for use during the night or darkened periods of the day. Table 6 shows the recommended lighting intensity for swine housing. For breeding, gestation and farrowing area, the recommended lighting intensity is 150 lux. For nursery area is 100 lux. For growing and finishing area is 50 lux. For inspection area is 200 lux. All electrical design and installation shall conform to Philippine Electrical Code. If you like this video, you can support this channel by clicking the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so that we can make more videos related to agricultural and biosystems engineering. Give your comments and suggestions in the comments section below. You can also follow me in Facebook. Ventilation. Natural ventilation. Outlets should be either ridge or chimney opening on the downwind side of the building, preferably located at the highest point in a building. Inlets should be through vent doors, curtains or other large openings along the long sides of the building. If necessary, automatic controls should be provided to maintain the indoor temperature and provide air exchange as weather changes hourly and seasonally. Natural ventilation system controllers should be available to regulate air exchange by adjusting inlet and outlet opening sizes. Various devices should be used to adjust the opening size. Pneumatic systems, either manual or motorized cable and winch systems, and motorized mechanical arms. Mechanical ventilation, if necessary. Mechanical ventilation, for example, fan, should be provided to deliver the required airflow rate. The recommended minimum ventilation rate under normal condition for farrowing unit is 0.28 cubic meter per minute. For nursery pen is 0.08 cubic meter per minute. For growing finishing pen is 0.12 cubic meter per minute. For breeding and gestating pens is 0.28 cubic meter per minute. Fans should be installed on the side opposite to the prevailing winds. Temperature. The recommended maximum temperature that shall be maintained is shown in Table 8. For sows and boars, the maximum temperature that shall be maintained is 30 degrees Celsius. For newborn piglets is 35 degrees Celsius. For 3 weeks old piglets is 30 degrees Celsius. For weaners is 30 degrees Celsius. For growers and finishers is 30 degrees Celsius. Optional facility. Water spray nozzles should be provided to provide cooling effect. Nozzles should be placed approximately 1.8 meters above the floor, and pointing straight down to obtain the best pattern and cover the width of the pen. Storage for feeds and supplies. A well-ventilated area should be provided for feed storages. It should be provided with mesh wire. The space required should be based on 2 weeks' supply of feeds. Waste disposal. For waste management, refer to PAES 414 series of 2002 Agricultural Structures, Waste Management Structures. Annex A. Computation of the number of pens. Formula for the computation of period of occupancy per pen. Farrowing or rearing pen, in days. Acclimatization period of sow, 7 days. Lactation period, 28 to 35 days. Cleaning and disinfection, 3 days. Total period of occupancy, 38 to 45 days. Nursery or weaner's pen, in days. Rearing period, weaning up to transfer to fattening pen, 30 to 35 days. Cleaning and disinfection, 3 days. Total period of occupancy, 33 to 38 days. Fattening pens, in days. Fattening period, 90 to 150 days. Cleaning and disinfection, 3 days. Total period of occupancy, 93 to 153 days. Dry and pregnant pens, 365 minus the product of occupancy in farrowing or rearing pen FRP and litter index. Gilts pen selection at 6 months. Rearing period 60 days. Cleaning and disinfection 3 days. Total period of occupancy 63 days. Boar's pen selection at 6 months. Rearing period 2 months 60 days. Cleaning and disinfection 3 days. Total period of occupancy 63 days. Formula for the computation of the number of pens. Farrowing or rearing pens equals number of sows multiplied by litter index, multiplied by occupancy period, multiplied by 1.1, all divided by 365. Nursery or weaners pens is equals number of sows multiplied by litter index, multiplied by weaned per litter, multiplied by occupancy, multiplied by 1.1, all divided by the product of 365 and number of piglets per pen. Fattening pens is equals to the number of sows multiplied by litter index, multiplied by reared per litter, minus gilts and board raised as replacement, multiplied by occupancy, multiplied by percent retained for fattening, all divided by the product of 365 and number of fatteners per pen. Dry and pregnant sows pens is equals to number of sows multiplied by occupancy period, multiplied by 1.1, all divided by 365. Gilt places is equals to number of sows multiplied by culling rate, multiplied by occupancy period, multiplied by 1.1, all divided by the product of 365 and selection rate. Boar pens is equals to number of sows divided by boar to sow ratio,